you guys, it's Teresa and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about the series I desperately need to finish in 2019 since we are kind of wrapping up the year and somehow I have yet to finish some of these series. So let's just kind of get into it. But before I hop into the video, or we cut into the video, just wanted to apologize for there not being a video on Wednesday. I did film an unhaul video twice, I might add, and somehow magically the second time it said it was in focus and then I uploaded it onto my laptop and it was no longer in focus. It was a very frustrating time, so we're just going to leave it at that and then come back to it hopefully later on in the month, probably in the beginning of the year, so January. But let's just get started with they're not all the series I need to finish in 2019. I think I have a couple more that are currently on the list, but of ongoing series. So here are the list of finished series that I need to finish in 2019. The first series on this list is one that shouldn't be a surprise. I started reading the book back over the summer and then I finished it and I watched the movie, and that is Crazy Rich Asians by Kevin Kwan. Now if you guys don't know what this is about, this follows Rachel Chu as she kind of follows her boyfriend to Singapore to meet his family for a wedding and finds out that somehow magically her boyfriend is the most eligible bachelor and one of the richest bachelors in all of Asia. And unfortunately for her, his family doesn't like her because she is not part of the wealthy side of Asia. So yeah. However, I have a second book. I'm going to be reading it this month, so I should be finishing the series or the trilogy hopefully in 2019, because if I don't, like, how sad is that? I started a series in like early 2018, didn't finish it in early 2019, and it's a trilogy too. So also, not all of these books are going to be series. I believe some of these guys, one of them at least is a duology because the author decided not to continue on, but you know. And speaking of which, that duology is the Lament duology by Maggie Stiefvater. This is actually her debut duology, and it follows, what's her name? Ooh, it's been such a long time since I've read this book, not gonna lie, so 10 out of 10, don't remember anything from it. I believe, let's see, Deirdre? I don't know. It's supposed to be, I believe it's Scottish or Irish, but I don't know how to pronounce her name. But she kind of is a violinist or a cellist and runs into this fairy magic that she finds out that her family has always been kind of entangled in. And I picked up the first book. I couldn't really get into it for some reason. I think that it was kind of hard because Maggie's writing is very flowing, and this one does take place in first person, and I'm used to her writing being in third. So it was kind of difficult, so I'll jump back into this and then finish up the duology hopefully in 2019, because I picked this book up back in like 2014, maybe even before then. So it's been a minute. The next series I need to finish is one that actually is becoming a TV show and premiering I think in January. I read the first two books but not the last one, and that is A Discovery of Witches by Deborah Harkness? Yes. And now this follows Diana, who is a young scholar who also happens to be a witch and runs into this lovely, beautiful British vampire named Matthew, and find out that they kind of will fall, like, that there's a lot of stuff going on involving Diana's heritage and all that stuff. And this is not young adult. This is actually historical fantasy fiction, I believe, because I know in the second one they do some time traveling. But I love this series and I don't know why. I think the second book was a little confusing to me, so I stopped. I didn't pick up the third one because I got frustrated, so I think it's time for a reread and to get back into it. And yeah, so here's to 2019. It also doesn't help that Teresa Palmer is going to be playing Diana, so I'm very excited to see that going on. And if you hear noises or see my cat in the shot, I apologize, but also not because he's very cute. He's just very playful today. I think he missed me. The next series on this list will be a no-brainer, considering I've been trying to finish this series since like the 6th grade, and that is Percy Jackson and the Olympians by Rick Riordan. If you guys don't know what this is about Percy Jackson, a demigod who kind of gets entangled in this world that he never wanted to be in, and you know, quests and all that stuff happen, so here we are. But I picked this book up back in like the 6th grade. I read up until the second book, never picked up the third book, and then more books started coming out and I just got confused and concerned and never really picked them up after that. So I am now here at 22, nearly about like a decade after I picked up the first two books. I'm currently reading the second book, so we are on topic there, but you know, planning on binging most of these books in like 2019, like consecutively every month, maybe even less than that, just to finish him out and then continue on with the rest of his books. But I am ashamed that I've never finished the series because I am a huge Greek myth slut. I love reading Greek myths, every form of it. It's so, you know, I really couldn't tell you why I never finished the series, aside from the fact I'm dumb. But we're not going to get into that because there is a long list of things with that one. The next series is one that kind of surprised me because I didn't know that it wasn't done yet, and that is The Selection by Kiera Cass. Now, I picked up all these books in Ireland, so these novels, like the trilogy that I have, or the first 3, are from Ireland, and I'm very happy, but whatever. So essentially, The Selection is what you would do if you mix The Hunger Games and The Bachelorette, just minus the bloody murder. But I mean, if you have seen The Bachelorette, there are some pretty brutal things that happen on that show. Essentially, America never wanted to be this situation, but she ends up signing up to be the king's like bachelorette's thing, where he chooses from these beautiful list of people, and she just happens to be one of them. Now, like I said, I read the first 3 books while I was in Ireland. I love them, and I never know how to feel about like continuations, especially from like the next generation perspective. So I never picked up The Heir. Never picked it up. And I was like, oh yeah, it's only like just 1 book, so I'm not going to miss out on much. I finished off like this kind of trilogy, so there's no point. Then I was looking through Goodreads and saw that there was a 5th book that came out. So now I'm sitting here like, well, now I have to finish out the series because there are 5 books, and that must mean that there are some interest in there that I probably will want to pick up in the future. So we'll be picking up, well, I'll probably go through and reread this because 1, this was like a guilty pleasure for me back in Ireland. Like, hello, Maxon is like gorgeous. And 2, once I'm done rereading and binging it, I will go ahead and pick up the next 2 books. The second to last book is again also another no-brainer. I have been reading the series since like 2018, finally, and I wanted to finish it now since the last book did just come out in October, but alas, never got around to binging the rest of the books. And that is Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas. This is a YA fantasy, high fantasy, one of my preferred fantasies, and it involves Selena Sardothian, who's an assassin who ends up kind of getting caught up in this entire political situation she never wanted to be in after being freed from the slave camps of Endovier. Now that's all I can really give you because the second book throws everything for a huge freaking loop, and I can't really get into it without spoiling kind of the first 2 books for you. But I have the 5th book? Yes, I have the 5th book. So I'll be reading that this month, then I'll pick up the 6th and the 7th book, and then I'll be done with the series, which will make me kind of sad, because I've like fallen deeply in love with these characters, and now they're just like I know there's a finish line, and I don't want to cross it, and I hate it when I'm like, I have a love-hate relationship with reading books when they first come out, because then it's like, oh, I have to wait for the next one, but then I have a love-hate relationship with the reading books, like series that are already finished, because then I'm sitting here like, well, what am I supposed to do now? They're all done. Hesitant to pick this to finish the series out, but also very excited because the last book, Queen of Shadows, was a lot. And finally, the last book is one that is kind of buried under my pile of books that don't have a home yet, and that is The Darkest Minds by Alexandra Bracken. This is a YA dystopian future where a disease had wiped out all the children underneath the age of like 10ish, and those who had survived came out with like some weird X-Men powers, and in order to not be scared of these children, they shoved them into concentration camps and experimented on them for greater purposes. I read the first book a while ago when the movie came out. Never saw the movie. Whatever, past Therese. But now I want to finish out the series, and I believe it's a quartet. Could be wrong, could be very, very wrong, but we'll see. We'll find out in the future. I know a new book just came out, and it's like a flash forward book, so I'm assuming it's a quartet now. But I don't know anymore with these books. But that is it for the books I need to, the series / duologies / trilogies / any book with more than 1 in it that I need to finish in 2019. I want to know what you guys need to finish in 2019 or are planning on finishing in 2018 with these like last, 2 weeks that we have left? Oh God. It's fine. There are 2 weeks left. It's fine. We're fine. But anyway, like I said, want to see what you guys need to finish reading, what you guys haven't read yet. And on top of that, if you guys want to chat about these books or want me to do reviews on any of these books that I have read thus far, or like do a series review on the books, the series that I do need to finish and will be finishing come the future, please leave those down below. I love your suggestions. All of my social media links will be down below if you want to chat about the books that I'm currently reading. I did just finish Queen of Air and Darkness by Cassandra Clare like yesterday, so I have a lot of thoughts on that. If you want to talk about that, my social media links are down below for you guys to do so. And then comment if you if you like these videos, subscribe. I upload every Saturday and Wednesday unless something happens. Typically it's a out of focus situation and I just got really frustrated. But until then, I'll see you guys on Wednesday with a new video. And in that video I'll be talking about the series I want to reread in 2019. Very ambitious, because the video after that is going to be the series I want to pick up in 2019. And I'm not going to lie, not all of these will be finished in 2019. I have 12 months and like a shit ton of series. So until then, talk to you guys somewhere else. Bye.